I'm Trevor Junt. I'm the head producer of Wazoo Sports Network, and I'm the producer of the Weekend Wrap-Up with Trevor Junt. So this was kind of like an impromptu show. Last semester I was driving home, the Tri-Cities, hype up the Tri-Cities. No, but I was driving home, and then I was like, we don't have an NFL show. We should have an NFL show. And then so I just started breaking down every game that happened in the weekend. So all 16 games we talked about, and we just continued that on the season. And now we're on to a mock draft show.
And how do you decide what you talk about on your show?
So like the Weekend Wrap-Up is like literally like a wrap of the weekend. So it's just every NFL game that happens in the weekend. And then this is a different show. This is a mock draft show. Anything like NFL news, we cover.
And what's been your biggest struggle with the show, and how have you overcome it?
Editing has been very hard on me. I am not a good editor. I had help from Alex and Damien, who are the different producer of Cuckoo on the Clock, and Damien, the sports director. I had help with them at the start of the show. And then after I figured it out, it's like cookie cutter. It's make my own graphics and then put them into the show. So that's, I guess, how I overcame just help from friends.
Do you use certain websites to get your research from, or no?
Yeah, there's a bunch of different websites. There's Pro Football Reference, there's StatMuse, there's NFLnetwork.com, there's ESPN. I use a ton of different websites. My favorite is probably StatMuse because you could look up like different weird stats, and the same thing with Pro Football.
If you could describe your show in 3 words, what would they be and why?
3 words: informative, stat-driven, statistically correct, and fun. That's 4 words, or 5 words, I guess, but there.
And where did you get your passion for sports from?
So when I was like 6, I started playing sports when I was like 3. To be honest, I played soccer, and moved on to football and lacrosse and all these other sports. But I think mostly from my dad is where I got the passion for sports. We watched sports when I was like, my first like official sports memory is the 2005 Seahawks Super Bowl. I was 4 years old, or I guess I was about 5 years old, and it was like just that is burned in my mind. That story right there. And then just watching sports with my dad every weekend, every weekday when basketball's on or baseball's on, with my brother as well. It just came from my family.
And what does the future look like for you? What positions do you see yourself holding? So
this is the last Weekend Wrap-Up with Trevor Junt right here. This is the final series finale show. Next year, I'm going to be the vice president of special projects. I'll be in charge of all the special project shows. And sports is within that, so I'm happy I get to be in charge of sports as well. Just that, and our exec team is going to have a lot of fun. We're going to create a lot of good shows and a lot of good content.
Hi, I'm Alex Elliston. I am a producer for Wazoo Sports Network, and today I'm going to be featured on Trevor's show, the Weekend Wrap-Up with Trevor Junt.
So I noticed you're also involved with Coog on the Clock. So how would you compare your experience with this show and Coog on the Clock?
They're very similar in the way that they're unscripted, and you just talk about kind of your research and your opinion on things, on how, like, for his is how the games went and certain aspects of the game. But they're different in the way where Trevor's show is more of like I'd say more of a podcast, where mine, is quick to the point and move on. This topic, move on. I would say they're kind of similar, but kind of, their own uniqueness in their own way. And
how do you manage your time between 2 shows?
Smile and wave. Tunnel vision, just put my mind to one show and then move on to the other. Like it's busy, but you get through it. You learn to, work with what you're doing and kind of get the hang of things.
And what's been your biggest struggle, and how have you overcome it?
Oh, biggest struggle is just school this semester, especially. Last semester I was really more into K late, and I was doing 3 to 4 episodes a week, pumping out content constantly. Whereas this semester, my classes have been just completely hard and just super challenging and time consuming. So I haven't had as much time to be able to put together episodes and stuff like that. I would just say school, just being able to manage time and understand, kind of, prioritize things correctly. That's probably the biggest challenge and priorities.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Could you speak into it? You
I like cheese.
and then if you could look at Monique while you do it, yeah.
What's up, homie?